Hello, yogis. Thanks for being here. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's staying healthy and safe. We're going to do a lot of core work again this week. Maybe not quite as much as last week, but we're still going to do a lot of it. And we're going to work a lot on our shoulders as well. So let's begin by centering, closing our eyes perhaps, sitting up tall so that you have a nice long spine. You could also, if you choose, just lie on your backs while you do some breathing exercises. Focus on your breath. Focus on your inner being. And gradually increase the depth and the length of your breath. In and out of your nose. And for the next hour, just tune into yourself. Forget about anything else that might be distracting you, because they'll be waiting for you later. Make sure you can feel the breath go all the way down to your belly, inflating your belly like a balloon. This type of breathing contracts your diaphragm, massages all your organs, stimulates your immune system. If you do nothing else, yoga-ish, at least do this every day, maybe more than once a day, this deep belly breathing. It's so beneficial. And it only takes a few moments. And it gives you a break in whatever you're working on. As you're sitting and breathing, if you're seated, make sure your head's right on top of your shoulders and that your chin's not jutting forward. Make sure your shoulders are down and your neck is nice and long. And sit with a neutral pelvic spine. So you'll have a little bit of arch in your low back, whatever your neutral spine is. Okay, let's please finish up your last big, deep, long, slow breath. Bring your breathing back to your normal breath. And then let's please take a deep breath together and Om in. Om. Om Balu Satguru Bhagavan Ki. The divine is the inner teacher. All right. So if you're sitting cross-legged, if you're not sitting cross-legged, please do so. And bring your hands onto your knees. We're going to do some seated spinal movements, seated cat-cows, just to warm up our spine. So first, you're going to tuck your chin and bring your tailbone underneath of you and push your back like a C-shaped back. And just feel how that opens up your vertebra. And then pull your chest forward and arch your back and push your shoulders down. And then just do that a couple times at your own pace, slowly, so that you can feel your spine convex and concave. Make sure you feel every vertebra. Okay, and then come back to neutral. And then please extend your legs into what we call staff pose, Dandasana. So if you want to sit up on something that'll help tilt your pelvis forward, that's what I'm doing. So it's easier to keep a nice long spine. Bring your shoulders forward, up to your ears, down, and keep your chest open just like that. Tuck your belly in. You've got a neutral lower back here. Feet are up and your knees are up. Feet are flexed so you can feel the muscles in your legs here. Take your right arm beside your hip, left arm comes beside your ear, reach way up and then lean over to the right. Keep pushing down into your left sit bone. Keep those legs active. Inhale back up, exhale down. Bring both arms in front of you and up, fingers facing, hands facing each other. And now reach your fingertips up high as you can without crunching your neck. So your shoulders are gonna lift, but make sure your neck is not all crunched up. And now take your palms and face them to behind you and push your hands back a little bit. See if you can feel what that does to your shoulder blades. Okay, bring your arms in a T and bring them to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Place your left hand beside your left hip, right arm up beside the ear, and we're going to lean now to the left. Inhale back up. Exhale, let your arm float down. And once again, we're going to bring our arms forward and up, reaching up to the ceiling, turning our palms facing backwards. So you're rotating your shoulders outward slightly by doing this. Opening up the blades in the back. One more breath. And exhale, arms in a T, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Okay, please bend your right knee. And then take your left arm and hug that knee into your chest. So make sure your left foot stays active, toes pointing up. Inhale, bring your right arm forward. Exhale, we're gonna twist and plant the right hand behind us and use that as your kickstand. So you're twisting, but your spine is vertical. Your vertical twist here. So you don't want to lean too far back on your hand. The purpose of the hand is to keep your spine vertical. And then just take several deep, long breaths here. Think about pushing your right shoulder back. Make sure your left leg stays active and your foot flexed. Inhale. Exhale, slowly come back to center. Now, walk this foot out as far as it can go, maybe even off your mat. And then turn your body so the right shoulder comes inside of the leg. And then place one hand on either side of your left leg. So this is going to be working on your right hip here. Try to bring your shoulders over the left leg and just bow down as much as your body allows here without crunching your neck or letting your back collapse here. You want to keep your back nice and long. One more breath here. And then slowly come on back. Walk your foot in. Return to staff pose. Dandasana, feet up, knees up, shoulders forward, up, back, a big shoulder roll, opening the chest. Bend your left knee. Right arm hugs left knee in. Left arm forward, inhale. Exhale, twist, plant that left hand behind you as you use your right arm as leverage for the twist. And once again, you want your spine to be vertical here. Push the left shoulder back, bring your right ribs around and keep that right foot flexed and active. So you're using those muscles. You're not wasting any time with that leg. One more breath here. Exhale slowly, come back around. And now this foot will walk out and as far as you need to be able to get your body over the right leg, hands on either side of your right leg and come forward. One more breath. And then slowly come on back up. And now please come on around to a table position. Square up your table, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hip. Take a deep breath with a flat back. As you exhale, we're going to push into cat back. So we're tucking our chin and our tailbone, arching our back to the ceiling. Really suck your belly in toward your spine. And then inhale, untuck everything, drop your belly down, push your shoulders back into your cow position, head forward. And then exhale very slowly back to your hips, back to your heels, into a child pose. Inhale very slowly back to table. Exhale again to cat. So tuck your toes so they get exercised here. Push your toes into the mat, push the mat away so you can feel how your shoulder blades separate on your back. Really suck the belly in. And then inhale as you untuck your toes. Push the belly down and head and chest forward. And then exhale once more into your child pose. Inhale to table. So tuck your toes here. This is going to be the first of our little bit of abdominal work. We're going to engage your belly muscles and lift your knees about 2 or 3 inches off the mat. And breathe here for a couple of breaths. Okay, knees can come down. Inhale, exhale, twist your right arm out to the side and up toward the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, let that right arm float back down. We'll do a few what I call tiger kicks. We're going to bring our right knee into the chest and tuck your chin and bring your nose to your knee and then kick your leg back, but keep the knee bent so that the sole of your foot is pushing up toward the ceiling. And then bring it back in, nose to knee again, and then kick the leg back out with a bent knee, sole of your foot pointing toward the ceiling. And once again, bring the knee in, bring your nose towards your knee, and then kick the leg back up toward the ceiling. And one final time, bring the knee in, nose to knee. This time we're going to straighten the leg straight behind us, parallel to the mat, and come into our balancing table pose. So your left arm's going to come up while your right leg is up. Both limbs are parallel to the mat. Take a couple of breaths here. This is very good for our core stability. One more breath here. And then hand comes down, knee comes in. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, come into your cat back. Inhale, cow pose, untuck everything. Exhale, all the way back to child. Inhale to table. Exhale, twist the left arm open up toward the ceiling. Bring that arm down and tuck the toes, hover your knees over the mat 2 or 3 inches. And knees can come down. Inhale. Exhale, left knee comes into the chest, tuck your chin, nose toward the knee, and then keep the knee bent, kick up toward the ceiling into our tiger kick. And then bring the knee back in, nose to knee, kick the foot back, sole of your foot toward the ceiling. Once again, exhale as your nose comes to your knee, and then kick it back up. And then once again, nose to knee. This time, straighten the leg behind you, parallel to the mat, and we'll come into the balancing table on this side. One more breath. And hand comes down, knee comes in. Okay, kick your right knee out to the side, doggy style. Straighten the leg and then swing it all the way around and tap it down on the left side of your body. Look over the left shoulder. So here you can feel maybe your right ribs opening up. And now pick up your foot, swing it way back over so it's perpendicular to your body, and then tap the foot down here. Then lift and swing it back around again. Look over the left shoulder. And then lift, swing it to the right side perpendicular to the body and tap down. And once more lift, swing it around, push it down, put the foot down, look over the shoulder, lift, come all the way around, tap down with your foot and put weight into the left hand, reach open with your right arm to the ceiling. And slowly you can bring that hand down, bring the knee in. And left knee cocks out to the side. Straighten the leg, swing it around to the right, look over the right shoulder, touch the toes down. Lift the toes, swing it back perpendicular to your body, touch the foot down. Lift the foot, swing it to the right, touch the foot down. Lift the foot, swing it to the left, touch the foot down. Once more, lift, swing, look over the right shoulder, touch down, lift, swing, and touch down on the left side. Put weight into your right hand and then twist open to the left with your arm toward the ceiling. Hand comes down, and then the knee comes in. And then please come onto your bellies with your arms parallel in front of you. Bring your shoulders or your elbows under your shoulders. So this is Sphinx pose. Think about pushing your pelvis into the mat and your thighs into the mat and slightly roll the thighs inward toward each other. So maybe you can feel a little bit of space opening up in your low back. Pull the mat towards you with your arms. They're not going to move, but the sticky mat will give you resistance so that you can bring your chest up between your forearms, make your head nice and straight with your spine and your neck long. So in other words, you don't want to dip your chin or raise your head. Just think of a nice gentle curve in the spine from the crown of your head to your toes. Okay, take your right knee and bend it. And then we're going to look over, turn our head to look over the left shoulder. You may or may not see your foot, that's okay. But, but feel how that twists your torso. And then bring that foot down and come back to center. Tuck your toes and push up to a forearm plank. So here we're going to breathe and make sure you have one. I'm sorry. I hope nobody heard that. Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
I used to have one.
Okay. Hey, it happens. Okay. Pelvis comes down back to Sphinx. And push your shoulder blades back, chest forward. Yoga will do that. Okay, now we're going to bend the left knee. Look over the right shoulder as far as you can. Maybe see your foot, maybe not. And then bring your head back to center. Bring your foot back down. And tuck your toes, come into another forearm plank. And and bring your pelvis back down, return to Sphinx. Now, walk your hands out in front of you wide, and we're going to come into what I call a seal pose. So it's like a wide cobra. You're going to push into your fingertips and bring your head and chest up and really feel a stretch in your arms here, opening in the shoulders and the back, and try to keep your neck nice and long. Keep pushing into your pelvis. Good. And then come all the way down. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Push back to table. Okay, from here, we're going to do what I call a cat bow. This is not a push-up. We're going to shove our chest forward and bring it down, maybe halfway, but keep the elbows by your sides. And then come back all the way up. Sit all the way back to your heels with your bottom. And then come back to table. And keep your knees down and bring your chest forward into an upward facing dog. Now here, you can lift your knees if you like. And then if they're lifted, put them down, push back to table, tuck your toes and come into downward facing dog. So this is presumably our first downward dog of the day. So make it work for you. Bend the knees, get your spine nice and long. Bring your forearms toward each other so you can feel your shoulders roll out. The eye of the elbow should be forward. That means this. Okay. And bring the knees back to table. Good. Cat bow again. So the chest comes forward, down, keep the elbows by the sides, and then back up, and then sit all the way back toward your heels. And then come back to table, and then shift your chest forward to upward facing dog. And push back to table, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. From here, bend your knees, walk up to your hands, and slowly come up to standing. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms in a T, Anjali Mudra. And then let's pause in Tadasana, mountain pose, our perfect posture pose. So when you're here in Tadasana, think about your head on top of the shoulders, shoulders down, chest open, palms slightly forward because that helps get your shoulder back. Rotate the thighs inward toward each other slightly so that your legs feel active. Belly in, neutral spine. Good. Bring your arms forward. Reach up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Tailbone down, legs parallel to each other, or some people like to put their feet together in chair pose. I prefer apart, parallel. From here, bring your arms all the way down, and here's where you can use your blocks if you like, hands on blocks. And we're either going to step or jump back to a plank pose from here. You can have hands on block with your plank. Good. From here, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up behind you. Now, this is not what you're going to think it is. You're going to swing it up between your hands. And now slowly line up your right knee over the ankle and then bring your arms forward and up into a high lunge. So your back heel is up. Your left quads are engaged. Lift your left quad so that you feel those muscles. Good. One more breath here. Hands come back down to the mat. And you're going to step now your Left foot up to a forward fold. And then slowly come on up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathe. Inhale up. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Couple of breaths here. This is fierce pose, it's called fierce pose. In addition to being a chair pose, it's fierce because it uses all the muscles in your body. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come down on blocks so beside your feet or onto the mat. And here's where you're going to step or jump back to plank. Pause in plank. The more you engage your abdominal muscles, the easier it'll be to hold. Now come to upward facing dog. You can put your knees down on the mat if you like. And downward facing dog. Kick your left leg up behind you and swing it up between your hands. Slowly bring your arms forward and up into high lunge. Couple of breaths here. Think about having your knee steady over the ankle. Engage those right quads. One more breath. Hands come down. Step up with your right foot. And slowly come up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And Tadasana. Pause for a breath or two here. So we're going to do a balance. And I know some people like to come off their mat. I like to when I balance to get rid of the squishiness. Eagle pose. Open your arms in a T. Hug yourself with your right arm over your left, stacking the elbows. Then we're going to cross the left leg over the right, knee over knee. And if you want to, you can tuck your toes behind your ankle and then bring your arms together into eagle pose, your forearms together into eagle pose. Now, there's nothing wrong with using a wall. Yeah, that's good. It's really good. And dancing around like that is good too. It's even better. That's pretty impressive, actually. Whenever you're ready to change sides, shake all that out. Eagle hop. Okay, arms in a T this time, left arm over right. Sack your elbows. If you want to bring your forearms together before you take your right leg over your left, tucking your ankle, if you like. And then if you want to be like Robert, you can hop around on this one foot. You've had enough, unwind, uncross, shake it all out. And come back to your mats. For Tadasana. Have blocks available if you would like to use them. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your knees, come into chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, halfway up so that you can stretch your chest open, shoulders back, and then exhale, bring the hands back down. Inhale here. Exhale, right foot steps back to a high lunge. A runner's lunge, we call this. And if you're using blocks, your hands would be on blocks here. Bring the right knee down, patting it if you'd like. And then we'll bring our arms forward and up, to Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Think about pushing your tailbone toward your back heel so that you're not overarching your low back. Bring your arms in a T, thumbs down, and then squeeze the hands behind you together behind your back and pull your hands away from you so you can feel your shoulders pull down and away. Release your hands, come back forward, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Lift your right knee, step back to plank. Knees can come down or not. Come into upward facing dog. And then downward dog. Right leg kicks up behind you. And swing it up between the hands. Good. Step up with the left foot. Slowly come on up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And Tadasana for a moment or two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down with bent knees. Inhale, halfway up as you straighten your legs. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale here. Exhale, left foot steps back to a high lunge. Good. Left knee comes down. And then bring your arms forward and up into Anjaneyasana here. Crescent lunge. So again, your back toes can be tucked or not, whatever you prefer. Bring your arms in a T, thumbs down, push the curtain away, clasp your hands behind you. And this time, see if you can rethread your hands so the opposite thumb is on top. This will be the non-habitual way. And then pull your hands away from your body as you can feel your shoulders pull down and together on your back. Release your hands, come back forward, inhale up, exhale down. Lift your left knee, step back to plank. Upward facing dog, knees can come down or not. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up behind. Exhale, swing it up between the hands. And step up with your right. Slowly come up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in the T. Anjali Mudra. Tadasana. Take several deep breaths here. Active rest. Don't let your body go limp, but you do want to rest. Chest open, shoulders down. Chin parallel to the ground. Make sure your head's right over the shoulders. As you breathe, appreciate the moment. This is a wonderful moment. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees forward, fold all the way down. Take your left hand onto your right ankle, and then let your right arm go out to the side as you straighten your right leg. Now keep your left knee bent here, and your right leg doesn't have to come all the way straight. And then that hand comes back down. Slowly come up through chair. All the way up, inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, bend over to the right with a crescent. Inhale up. Exhale, Anjali T, Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Right hand comes onto the left ankle. Your knees are bent to start. Left arm goes out to the side and up to the ceiling as you straighten the left leg. Keep your right knee bent. Inhale. Exhale, bend both knees. Bring the hand back down. Come up through chair pose. Inhale up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push the fingertips up. Exhale, crescent left. Inhale up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And Tadasana, mountain pose. Very good. Okay, inhale up. Exhale, bend knees, fold. Step back to downward facing dog. And now bring your knees to the mat. Sit back toward your heels on a well-deserved child pose. Please rest your forehead on something, whether it's a mat or blanket or bolster or block. You just want to put a little bit of pressure on the forehead for a few moments. Okay, please push up and then come onto your backs with your head facing toward me if you're in the studio. If you're at home, you can put your head anywhere you want. Okay, extend both legs long on the mat. Feel how your back is neutral right now. So your palms are facing down beside your body, your chest is open and your back is neutral. So there's a tiny little bit of space between your low back and the mat. You're going to push into that space. So push your low back into the mat as you lift your right leg up toward the ceiling. Flex the foot. And then keep the back into the mat as you slowly lower your right leg. Slowly. Slower is harder. And then once your foot hits down, release the back to neutral. Give your back a break. Repeat, inhale. Push the low back into the mat, lift the right leg up. Slowly flex the foot. And then very slowly bring that leg down. Continue to push your back into the mat. And once your foot hits down, release the back to neutral. And again, inhale first. Exhale, push the back down, bring the foot up. Now this time, you're going to bend your knee and take your fingers and lace them around your shin of the right leg, and bring that knee in towards your chest. Take a breath here. Exhale as you lift your head and shoulders and bring your nose toward your knee. And then slowly roll back down. Release your leg long onto the mat. Bring your arms overhead, palms facing up, full body stretch. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, bring your arms back down by your sides. Palms facing down, neutral spine. Okay. Take a breath. Push the low back into the mat and your left leg lifts up toward the ceiling with the foot flexed. Keep the back pushed into the mat as you slowly lower that leg all the way back down. Release the back once you hit down. Inhale. Push the back down, lift the leg up toward the ceiling. Slowly lower the leg. And once your foot hits the mat, release the back. Once more, inhale. Exhale, push the back into the mat, lift the leg, flex the foot. The lower back is pushed into the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knee, clasp your fingers around your left shin and hug that knee into your chest. Inhale. Exhale, lift your head, tuck your chin, bring your nose to your knee. Slowly roll your spine back down. Bring your foot back down to the mat. Straighten both legs. Bring your arms overhead. Full body stretch. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your arms down by your sides, palms facing down. One more ab thing, and then we'll be all downhill from here. So we're going to bring both knees into the chest and lace your fingers and grab your knees and hug your knees in. Okay, so we're going to come into a low boat, which means it's very important for you to keep your lower back pushed into the mat. If your back is going to come off the mat, you need to raise your legs higher up. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to release our legs, tuck our chin, lift our shoulders, and let our legs go straight into a low boat. So if you feel that low back come off the mat, just raise your legs higher. Come on down as low as you can possibly stand. And then bend your knees, roll your spine back down, hug the knees into your chest. Okay, take a deep breath. Exhale, tuck the chin, bring the head and shoulders up and extend your legs into your low boat. Push the low back down into the mat. Reach for your feet with your hands. Breathe. Rebend the knees, roll the spine down. Hug your knees into the chest. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, bring your head up, tuck the chin, lift the shoulders up, straighten the legs. Low boat, push the low back into the mat. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And rebend the knees. Lower the head and hug the knees into the chest. Roll around on your spine. Bring your feet to the mat with bent knees. Bring your arms to a T with your palms facing up and just allow your knees to windshield wipe from the one side of your body and then back to the middle and to the other side at your own pace. Helping to release your spine, release your abdominal muscles this way. And then please grab a block. Lift your hips, place your sacrum on the block. And you can either stay here in a supported bridge and relax, or you can allow your legs to come up to the ceiling, toward the ceiling in your Viparita Karani waterfall pose, or do a combination of both. Just let your breath slow down. Please slowly lower your legs if they're up. Lift your hips, remove the block. Keep your knees bent, feet parallel to each other, legs parallel to each other. Bring your palms down by your sides, facing down beside your body. So your hands are beside your hips. We're going to do some very gentle rolling bridges. What that means is that you're going to push into your feet, lift your hips, roll your spine up to your shoulders as you bring your arms up toward the ceiling and then over your head so your palms are facing up over your head. And then very gradually roll the bridge down, bring your hands back up toward the ceiling, roll your spine all the way back down till your hips hit down and your hands come down beside your hips. We'll do that again slowly. See if you can coordinate your movements, lifting the hips, bringing your arms up and the backs of your hands, if they can touch down above your head, do that. And then very slowly roll the bridge back down. Maybe you can time it so that when your hips hit down, your hands hit down at the same time. And one more time, push into the feet, slowly roll your bridge up. And slowly roll the bridge down. So I'd like to come into a supported fish pose. So everybody needs 2 blocks. And I'll show you what to do. This is a counter pose to what we just did with the bridge. You're going to have 1 block for your head and 1 block for in between your shoulder blades. So you're going to position yourself so where the block underneath you comes right underneath your shoulder blades, so like right under the bra line. And then the other block supports your head at any height that you like. My blocks are round, so I only have 1 height here. Your imaginary bra line if you don't have a bra on. So purpose of this pose is to open the chest and open the throat area. That's the counterpart to the bridge pose, because with the bridge pose, we had our throat closed. And this time now we're just opening the throat. Let the shoulders relax. Okay, please push into your arms or your forearms or your elbows to lift your body up so that you can come off of your blocks. And then recline back down with bent knees. One last hip opener, take your right foot and put the ankle on your left thigh. Take your right hand and push your right thigh away, releasing that hip joint slightly. Keep pushing it away. Okay, now listen carefully because this is something you're going to think you're going to do one thing and you're going to do something else. We're going to open our arms to a T, keep your foot where it is, and roll onto your right hip. Yes, I mean the right hip, the right hip. I knew you were going to ask that. So what you're doing is your right foot is giving leverage to your left leg to bring it down. So your left knee is bent as well. Both knees are bent. And see if you, yes, if possible, your shoulders are on the ground. Okay, well, that's okay then. Okay, come back to center. Uncross. Left ankle on right thigh. Left hand pushes the left thigh away. Okay. Arms in a T. This time you're going to roll onto your left hip so that your right ankle is still on your left thigh. Both legs are bent. You don't have to come all the way to the mat. Your knees don't have to come all the way to the mat. And hopefully your shoulders can open as much as possible. Good. And then slowly, please come back to center, uncross. And if you would like to give one more hug of your knees into your chest, now's the time to do so. And then we shall prepare for Shavasana. I'm going to try to play some music. Please bring your awareness back to your breath. Deepen your breathing. Make small movements to gently wake up your body. Now please bend your knees and roll onto your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And now very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, please push up to seated. And now please join me with the closing chant. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Victory to the Cat Rock Yoga class and to the inner teacher. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Knuckles to my forehead honors God. Knuckles to my chin honors you. Knuckles to my heart honors myself. Namaste. And Jai Yogis.